What's going on, trainers? It's your boy Meta Danny back again with another Pokemon Go PvP video where we're going to be reviewing some battles in the Go Battle League. Now, I'm not a pro. I don't have all the resources that the pros have. I don't have access to millions of Stardust or thousands of candies, but I still have to grind up my teams for each battle that I'm going to do, and I hope that my journey is able to help you as well. Alright, we're going to be taking a look at some battles in the Great League today, but before we get into them, and I'm sure, as you can probably tell from the title of this video, we're going to be learning a little bit about Cresselia. Now, of course, we got Cresselia at the end of our Throwback 2020 Hoenn encounter. I hope you managed to get yours. I got one with okay stats for PvP, especially for Great League and Ultra League. And of course, the special thing about this Cresselia is that it knows Grass Knot. Alright, so we're going to be talking about how to use this Cresselia, and I'll show you how I used it. Once I managed to catch it. Look at these terrible throws. I was off my game, yo. But anyway, let me actually introduce you to the team that I used to partner up with Cresselia. So in the lead, we had, and drumroll please, because there's been an upgrade. Instead of pictures, we got the little dancey clips. I like it. In the lead, we had Vigoroth, and Vigoroth as well acts as a great safe switch, but I put it in the lead this time, and I'll explain why as we go. Now, something that I was requested to do was to keep in mind the beginners who don't necessarily know the typings of all the Pokemon, and I just take it for granted because, hey, I mean, I've played Pokemon since the days of Red, Blue, and Yellow, so I kind of understand typings, but many people don't, so I'm going to try explain that as we go along in the videos, alright? So, Vigoroth is a normal type Pokemon. Alright, and Vigoroth is running the moves Counter, Body Slam, and instead of Bulldoze, I brought in Brick Break. And that's because Vigoroth is mainly my Steel counter in the lead, which means shields will be up. So I thought Brick Break might be helpful, especially when it comes to like the Skarmories that I was coming across. Alright, in the back, I have an Altaria, my shiny Altaria, running, of course it's a dragon and flying, and it's running the moves over there, Dragon Breath, Sky Attack, and Dazzling Gleam. I brought in the Dazzling Gleam in case I come across things like Sableye or Umbreon, something that I can use that's super effective against them. And as the safe switch, I brought in Cresselia, and Cresselia is running the moves Psychic, or rather Cresselia is a Psychic type Pokemon and running the moves Psycho Cut, Grass Knot, and Moonblast. Alright, so let's see how this actually works in battle, shall we? And I'll try and explain the roles of each of those Pokemon as we go along. So let's actually get into the battles. I finally caught the Cresselia after those terrible throws. Alright, so going up in our first battle against Rwandai, I made it to rank 8, but man, battles are really difficult right now. So they have their own Cresselia in the lead. Now, I considered putting Cresselia in the lead as well. I did play a couple games with him in the lead, and I still had a bit of a problem with Cresselia in the lead because I was coming across so many Steel types. And also, because both Altaria and Cresselia are weak to Steel types, I figured I must put Vigoroth in the lead so that if I come across a Steel type in the lead, I'm able to at least have some play against it, and I'm not just going to get switch locked against something that I'm weak to. So my strategy with Cresselia in Safe Switch is to go for the Moonblast. Moonblast has a 30% chance of reducing your opponent's attack. And that's what I'm always going for. If I get it, great. I have a very strong chance of winning the game. If I don't, you know, you may as well go for Grass Knots after that, yeah? So in this case, I did manage to get the attack debuff on that Skarmory, and I bring in my Vigoroth to finish up. They quickly switch into their Cresselia themselves, and this is great because their Cresselia is switch locked, so I don't have to be worried about it facing my Altaria. And yeah, over here, I'm gonna play with Vigoroth to finish off this Cresselia. I'm happy to shield my Vigoroth if necessary because remember I've already gotten taken care of their Steel type, which is that Skarmory. At this point, it's not going to cause too much of a stress for me, and both Altaria and Cresselia are able to deal with it. I bring in Altaria here for an aggressive farm down that I think I could just make, which I managed to, and now I've got a Sky Attack ready to go. And they bring in a Scrafty, which is hilarious. Anyway, so yeah, this looks like it's already going to be GG's for me because I'm already at my next Sky Attack. This foul play is not going to do that much to me, and they have to shield because this is going to take them out. And I'm able to do the combo play because I had saved up a Moonblast. This is double super effective against that Scrafty because it's dark and fighting, and Fairy is super effective against both. So this is going to be a GG because I've still got a shield, and they surrender that game over there. All right, so good first game. Seems to be working out great. Let's go into the next game right now with the same team. And we are going to be going up against V Red Bull. Sponsored? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so Vigoroth in the lead. Ugh, and it's one of those shadow teams. So I have a strategy. And my strategy is, if it's something that can defeat Altaria, stay in with Vigoroth. But Vigoroth can't stand against that victory bell. So I have to switch into my Cresselia, hoping that Altaria in the back will be able to take care of that victory bell if necessary. This unfortunately gets me switch locked against a Bastiodon. I did manage to debuff its attack, but it's going to be an uphill battle from here. I throw the Grass Knot. Surprisingly, Cresselia can actually hold its own against Bastiodon, even though it's probably one of its strongest counters. Partly because of that attack debuff that comes from Moonblast, and I will have to invest a shield. But yeah, I mean, look at that. We've actually held our own against this Bastiodon, and they actually have to put in a shield as well, which was a mistake on their part because I'll be able to get this Grass Knot before they're able to get to their own charge move. And yeah, this is pretty cool because even if they take me out, I'm able to bring in my Vigoroth and counter down. I will have to eat a Stone Edge, of course, but that's okay. I did debuff that attack right at the beginning with Cresselia's Moonblast. So here's the situation where that Victory Bell comes in. If they shield this, oof, it's going to be tough. But they don't shield it, and then I throw in my Altaria to farm down. Whew, got rid of that Victory Bell, and in comes an Azumarill. Probably the worst thing that I could face at this point. Yeah, this is going to be very tough for me to come out of. I'm able to get to the Sky Attack. I was counting their bubbles. I shielded up, and my plan is, my eye is on that switch clock. If I'm able to throw this Sky Attack, oh, that switch clock is still too far away. They're gonna overfarm, so I might be able to switch just in time, but unfortunately, I'm not. And they throw an Ice Beam, and they've still got a shield, and they farmed up energy. So yeah, this is gonna be a good game, and they take this battle. No problem. We're learning how to use Cresselia. Good second game. Let's move on to the next one and see if we can learn from those mistakes and do better. Right now, we're going to be facing, drumroll, Animalizarin. All right, another rank 8 who's fallen below 2,000, hard times like me. It's a Skarmory in the lead, so we know what we want to do. It's a steal, so Skarmory in the beginning. This is why I brought in Brick Break, and I don't know if it's a good idea. I may switch back to Bulldoze. I just want to see how it works. But Brick Break is such a terrible move. It's a fighting move, and it's neutral against the Skarmory, but it takes pretty much as Body Slam does. I may as well just keep Body Slam. Anyway, let's keep trying and see how it goes. So we hit that Brick Break again. I like that it surprises people. And what I found is if the Skarmory has pretty bad IVs, I will be able to take a shield or take it out right at the beginning with my Vigoroth. So that's great for me because then I'm going to bring in my Altaria. They've used the shield, so I feel comfortable using a shield as well, and I can farm down aggressively. So here we go, Altaria with a little bit of energy. I've still got my switch clock open. They bring in a Deoxys. I farm up a little bit, throw a Sky Attack, and at this point I feel comfortable switching into Cresselia because they likely have an Azumarill in the back or something similar to that. So they'll switch out or they'll stay in. Doesn't matter to me. Cresselia can hang with both Deoxys defense and it's a Swampert, which yeah, they've pretty much handed the game over to me. I feel comfortable shielding here just to maintain my health, so I'm able to get to another Grass Knot just in case. But yeah, they shield this. I'd already farmed up some energy. Psycho Cut generates energy so quickly. Grass Knot is ready again. This is going to be one-shotting that grass, rather that water and ground dual typing. And they surrender the game over here because they know there's nothing that they can do. So good third game actually. Seems to be, I really like Cresselia as a safe switch. I really do. Even against things that are a hard counter to Cresselia, you still have some play. Things like Bastiodon and things like Registeel. Partly because of that Moonblast, which has a chance of debuffing that attack. When it doesn't debuff, it's a mess. So we're faced with another Skarmory again. And Skarmory, of course, is going to do quite well against Altaria and Cresselia. So we're going to stay in with Vigoroth and play the same strategy once again. And we're going to be throwing Brick Breaks. Again, just looking at the CP on that Skarmory, my guess is the IVs are not the best. 1482. which means I should be able to get to another Brick Break. It will either take them out or take a shield, and I get a shield. So sweet. So Vigoroth in the lead against Skarmory is pretty good for me. When the Skarmory has really good IVs, it'll take me out. Yeah, seems most of them I'm meeting don't have that great IVs. So I bring in again with the same thing. They use a shield, so I feel comfortable using a shield. And I switch into my Cresselia. I was a little late with that switch. If I had done it really quick, I would have been able to get to that Moonblast before they throw the Stone Edge and play with the chance of getting that debuff. But anyway, we got to work with what we have now. We get the debuff now, but it might be a little too late because I already ate a full Stone Edge. At this point, it's going to be Grass Knots all the way. This Bastiodon is likely going to take me out, which is fine because then I'll just bring in the Vigoroth to farm down. But there's a lot of health on there. I don't know if I'll be able to farm it down. But anyway, let's see how it goes. All right, we're throwing Grass Knots back to back. You see, we're actually doing pretty well. If I just got into that Grass Knot. So I bring in... oh, by the way, Vigoroth has gone down. Okay, no problem. All right, we're going to take it out with the Sky Attack. And it's a Whiscash in the back. Yeah, so that's game. Whiscash has access to Blizzard, which will be one-shotting my Altaria. This is pretty much game over. I play it out to the end just because, but in all honesty, there's nothing else that I can do in this game. All right, so we're going to lose this one to that Whiscash in the back, and we move on to game number 4. This time, game number 4, we're going to be facing Duke Sujiro. Now, the good thing with having Cresselia as a safe switch and Vigoroth in the lead is because chances are, if I come across something that is going to be good against like my Altaria, like this Azumarill, I'm going to stay in with Vigoroth, fine. But if I do switch into Cresselia, whatever Cresselia has a matchup against, as soon as the switch timer is up, which is likely going to happen because Cresselia is so bulky, it'll take a long time to take it out, then I'm able to switch back into Vigoroth, which acts as a second safe switch within the same game. So that's kind of the strategy. It's a little complicated and it doesn't work out all the time, and especially if they've got double steal, then I'm in a bit of a pickle over there. But when we come across an Azumarill, the goal is to take out the Azumarill, because Azumarill obviously has such great play against Altaria. With the Azumarill gone, chances are the Altaria is going to be able to do well, even if it is a Registeel. Bastiodon is going to be a tricky one, but if it's a Registeel, Altaria can still do pretty well against it. They bring in their Charizard, which is great because, yeah, I'm resisting those Fire Fast moves, and they will throw a Dragon Claw, which is super effective, but Dragon Claw is not a very powerful move, so Altaria's bulk is able to handle it, and we're able to just chunk it away with that Dragon Breath. They get to another Dragon Claw. I feel comfortable shielding. I didn't have to, but just so I can maintain the health on that Altaria, because it's clear to me they have a Grass in the back. The fact that they brought in a Charizard into this Altaria tells me they've got a Grass type in the back, and sure enough, it's a Meganium, and there's nothing that they can do, and they forfeit that game. Great fourth game. Great fifth game, actually. All right, so we went 3-2, positive set. Not always easy to do right now in the Great League. Let's see if things are going to be easier in the Ultra League when it comes out next week. But for now, that's how I've been using Cresselia as a safe switch. I know a lot of people are using it as a lead. Some people are using it as a closer. But in my experience, as a safe switch, I think it's where it does its best. And that's what we had in this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and drop a comment below if you've got any comments that you want to make, and if you have any questions about the team composition. But that's me for now. Meta Danny, signing out.